Hey everybody, it's Jen. Another video about CVS. This one I kind of want to talk about the different ways CVS episodes seem to affect people. We all, I found, have a very similar story, yet some of the aspects are very different. As for mine, because I could speak about mine first, I guess, just because it's my own personal experience and it's not hearsay, but mine hit hard, fast, 18 to 20 hours, and then I'm usually in recovery mode, which means I start to come to, and so on. There's only one way to break an episode of mine that we have found. Unfortunately, it's our narcotic. And my GP doesn't necessarily believe in CVS, so he has me listed as not being able to receive the proper medication. So when I go to the hospital, I usually have to stay and go through the course. Even though it's 18 hours, it is a very long 18 hours. Like I have mentioned before, I usually lose about 7 pounds. It's just agony. You just want it to end. And knowing how long it's going to last, I find I'm constantly praying, okay, what hour are we on? So that's the type of episode I have. It's just very fast. It hits within minutes. And that's it. I'm gone. But the next day, as long as I get rest and a lot of electrolytes, I can recover quite quickly. That's if I go to the hospital and get fluids. If I do not go to the hospital and get fluids, then I'm wiped out for probably 3 or 4 days afterwards until the color comes back a little. As you notice, today, as I had mentioned earlier, not feeling so shabby. You know, I always have this real pale color, and I always have these dark circles. Today they're not as bad as they usually are. But they're always there. They just never go away. And I've had them ever since I was a child, and nobody ever thought anything of it. But I have noticed it is a very common trait among people with CVS. So, anyhow, some of the other episodes that I've heard of from other patients and from spouses of patients, parents, and so on, some people can go through this for weeks at a time. Some as intense as mine, to where they have to be actually put into a medical coma in order for them to be put into this deep sleep. That's what's most important to stop an episode, is to put the body into a deep sleep. And it's my belief that that deep sleep kind of resets our system, resets everything, and then restarts it, kind of like rebooting a computer, I guess, and gives it a chance for everything to go back to normal, I guess. And I point to my head because they believe it's a brain-gut disorder. They definitely have something to do with each other. Now, where there's some that it hits that hard and they're in the hospital every time, hospitalized, sometimes, you know, put into the induced coma due to various reasons. Either they can't get it to stop, it's causing damage to other organs. I've had my pancreas levels come back bad, my kidney levels come back bad, my liver levels come back bad, and then once the episode's over, everything goes back to normal. There's poor babies, children. I feel so bad for them. I mean, we believe I had it as a child because that was like, we always said I was the professional puker. But I didn't have it as bad to where I had to be hospitalized. It was more like I could vomit. I felt sick, but I could still talk, and, you know, I was still laid out for the day, but I was coherent. Now, there's also kind of like, I guess I like to call it, I don't think it's the proper term, but a prolonged prodrome stage, where, you know, you get the feelings that an episode is hitting, And you start with a little bit of vomiting, and then it just kind of, it stays that way. It never quite goes into a full episode. It never quite goes away. And that could be very difficult for somebody. I mean, just imagine having the strength to go to work and having to have a bag or a bucket behind you. Say if you work as a cashier, you need to know that there's something there for you to vomit into, because you never know when it's going to hit. You can be talking and all of a sudden it's just there. So it's for me, I don't know if I don't want to offend anybody, because that's not what I mean, but the way I've learned to think of it is kind of like a functional CVS, to where, you know, you can still maintain with your day, but you make sure you keep something with you for when it does happen. And then non-functional, to where some people just shut down and you can't even talk. If they ask you your name, they're not going to get an answer. I mean, it's really that simple. So I don't know if anybody has any other episodes they'd like me to describe. Please let me know. Either put a message on the Facebook, where I'm also going to post this. You could search for me with the same name that I have on here. Or please post here, and once again, feel free to share. I mean, absolutely. There's so many different aspects. We need to let people know what it's like, you know, not just for us, but for the people that love us. And once again, their official website is cvsa. Sorry, don't write that down. cvsaonline.org. They have walks that you can join to raise money. They have doctor's lists for people that are in your area. Very important. If you have not got that doctor's list, get your doctor's list. And once again, look on Facebook. Type in Cyclic Vomiting Syndrome for groups, this, that, and everything, and you will find a whole bunch of people with big hearts that are suffering. If you're suffering alone and you've never heard of it before, I can tell you from my own personal experience, they all changed my life. So, that's what I have to say for now. It's Jen. I will definitely talk to you later. Raise research for CVS. We need your help.